the Aam Aadmi Party different from other parties? Yashwant and his team asked this question. Let's take you through the responses that we got, because they claim to be totally different. 40% of the overall respondents seem to think that yes, they are still totally different. 16% say they're slightly different. 28% say they are the same as others. But 40% saying they're totally different, and 47% saying that Kejriwal should work from jail. Yashwant Deshmukh, this would lead one to wonder, if I add these, whether Kejriwal is seeing a bit of sympathy in your poll. It seems that there is a certain underlying sympathy which is being reflected in these responses.
Absolutely, Rahul. And I just want to remind the viewers that all along in the last, 2015 onwards, all the Mood of the Nation polls that we do twice a year for India Today, Mr. Kejriwal has been among the top-rated chief ministers all along. So never out of top 10 for sure, but mostly in the top 5 for sure. So certainly he has an image. He is not carrying that kind of problematic in terms of corruption allegations, routine corruption that other political parties or other leaders across the other alliances are generally prone of. He is not pretty much in that direction. So I guess that he carries a certain degree of goodwill, particularly among the opposition voters, and that is getting reflected unless the in the court and the rule of law it is substantially proven that he was beneficiary of corruption.
No, but can I just pause you to say that 1/3 of NDA voters also think that the Aam Aadmi Party is totally different. Now, I don't know whether they think that in a good way or a bad way, because the NDA voters could also be thinking that in a bad way. But 1/3 of the NDA voters also think that AAP is different.
Rahul, these numbers don't surprise me, because 1/3 of the NDA voters swing to Kejriwal in assembly election. They swing back to the BJP in the Lok Sabha election. This is no big deal. We have seen Aam Aadmi Party almost swinging 15 to 20% whenever the assembly elections happen, and BJP swinging 15 to 20% whenever the Lok Sabha elections happen.
Okay. So, Mudit Agarwal from the Congress, what do you make of these responses? 40% of overall respondents seem to think that AAP is different. 47% seem okay with Kejriwal running Delhi from jail.
So let me explain it in a different way. See, people of India intrinsically believe in democracy and democratic value. What they are seeing is the rise of authoritarian and autocratic regime of Mr. Modi in India. As I told you in your earlier show also, when you look at the issue of corruption in electoral bonds, or freezing of Congress accounts, or misuse of ED, CBI, as well as arresting of CMs, all these factors are coming together right now just before the elections, and there's a sympathy in people towards India Alliance and its constituents. Because intrinsically, as I said, people of India believe in democracy.
So do you buy this sympathy theory, Ashutosh? Both the AAP, Yashwant and Congress talking about sympathy, that maybe the BJP has overplayed its card, and maybe that's leading, because I'm very surprised with the fact that 1/3 of NDA voters are saying AAP is totally different, unless they're saying it that's different in a bad way, which is not coming out, but even they seem to think it's totally different.
No, I think Yashwant has a point, because if you look at the number, the vote share of the BJP in assembly election is something around 37%. When the parliament election, it jumps to 54 and 56%. So that 18% is overlapping to the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. So I got his point that when he's saying that 18% is overlapping, and the same people vote for the Aam Aadmi Party as well to the BJP. So the biggest issue is that in India, if anybody goes to jail and he has certain amount of credibility, then it does generate sympathy. But the vital factor is during the election is whether that will get into votes.
I think Ashutosh makes a very important point, that you may feel something is wrong and therefore you are sympathetic. Will that feeling be so strong that it changes your voting behavior? I think that is clearly the litmus test.